Okay. Here we are, room 113. On January the 10th, 1969, Sheriff Decker sent Buddy Walthers and Al Maddox out to arrest a bad guy by name of Walter Cherry. He was wanted for murder in Texas, or Georgia. I'm in Texas now. So what happened is they knocked on the door, and in here is Cherry and his girlfriend, and the deputies allowed them to get dressed. So in doing so, the bad guy Cherry opens fire on Buddy Walthers and Al Maddox. Walthers shot in the chest and he dies instantly. And then Al Maddox is shot in the hand and the foot. He survives. So they end up escaping out this door. And 1 hour later, they're arrested, captured and arrested right here in Dallas, Texas. It happened right here. Right here. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're at 3422 Samuel, Dallas, Texas. Okay, now I want to share some pictures with you. This is actually a postcard picture. It looks like it's taken in the 40s or maybe the 50s. Back in the day, this was a really nice motel. Eastern Hills on Samuel. The office is still located here, and this is the room that I taped earlier. The hotel owners were brother-in-laws, Paul Lewis and George Manning. They heard the gunshots, several gunshots. So when they came out of the main office, they see Al Maddox hanging on to Cherry, the bad guy. They also see the girl, her name was Twyna Blankenship. All she's wearing is a nightgown. Cherry only has underwear on. So Maddox yells at him. He sees them, says, "Hey man, help me. Let's get this SOB." So they go back in and get their guns. Paul Lewis had a 5-shot 38 revolver, and George Manning had a little 2-shot Derringer. Well, believe it or not, they shot all 7 rounds and missed everything. So Cherry and Twyna, they escaped the hotel right here, and they're heading east on Samuel Boulevard, and they make a right, and which is south, and they're heading down to this home here, which was the address was 3319 Gill Street. Now this individual that lived here, her name was Martha Rhodes, and she had a 6-year-old boy, and she was separated from her husband, but she was friendly with Twyna. So this is where they're coming, trying to get away. So at this moment, it took them about 4 minutes to drive this, and now Cherry is starting to feel the effects of the gunshots. He shot once in the chest and another in the leg. So they get him out of the car and they take him into the bathroom. The 6-year-old boy, they keep him in the front room. They keep him away from what's going on. And they're treating Cherry's wounds. They put a tourniquet on his leg, and he cleans and dresses his own wound in his chest. Now, at this moment, Martha Rhodes' husband comes home. Again, they're separated, but he shows up at this moment, and he says, "You got to get these bums out of here. You got to. They're going to get you into trouble, and we got the 6-year-old boy." So next thing they do is they load back into the car, and they head over to. Interestingly, they leave here, and they're heading over to this area, and this is 9419 Laneyville. And what we'll do, we'll get some better pictures. Let's see here. Let's pull this up. Okay, here we go. I already had it up, but let's exit the street view. So they're heading over to this house. Now, what's interesting to me about this is the ex-boyfriend of Twyna Blankenship, and his name is Carl Ray Thacker, and he's a drug dealer. So she brings this guy she shacked up with in a hotel to this home. Now at this point, the Dallas County sheriffs, they're on the lookout for these bad guys. And so they start out with who they think their friends are, and they come to this location. It was just luck of the draw. They came in this area. So what they did, they drove slowly down Laneyville, and here at this home, let's go ahead and go down and at street view. Here at this home, as they drive by, they see a white female exit the home and get into the 69 blue Chevy Impala, and she moved it forward more towards the garage to kind of hide it off the street, because it was way out here. Now, 1969, this concrete was not here or here, and neither was either fence. There's no fences in 1969. Okay, so they see the vehicle, and what they do is they come up to these intersections, and they place a sheriff car here at this intersection, and the plan was they were going to they have a car here, and then another deputy's car was heading this direction, coming from the east, heading west. And also, by the way, on the first drive-by, they saw the Impala and then a 66 white Ford sitting out front. Now, as the deputies are coming this direction to make a left and head from the west to the east on Laneyville, when they got about right here, they noticed that white Ford was leaving. So right about here, they make a stop at this intersection. And they find in the car is Carl Ray Thacker, again, the ex-boyfriend, drug dealer. And they also find Twyna Blankenship in a car. Well, they search Carl Ray Thacker and find all kinds of narcotics on him, so they immediately arrested him. They also arrested Twyna Blankenship. When she was handcuffed, she admitted to the deputy sheriffs that in the driveway, back here in the driveway, we'll go back down, she admitted to them that if they go back and check the 69 Impala, that Walter Cherry will be in the back floorboard wounded. She also warned them that he has his gun and willing to kill. So what they did, they came back, and one deputy sheriff came this direction, a couple more approached from this direction with shotguns or rifles drawn. They see Cherry on the back floorboard, so they say, he raises his hands and he gives up. They tell him to exit the vehicle, which he does in severe pain, and as he gets out of the car, they whack him in the back of the head with the butt of a rifle. Next thing that happens is he gets the death penalty, and in 1981 he ends up dying of a heart attack in prison because the death sentence was overturned when they changed the laws. I want to show you this. This is Sheriff Bill Decker. Check out the hat, glasses, and suit, because this next picture is Buddy Walthers. Hat, glasses, and suit. They really got along well. Decker really liked him. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? Okay, here's Buddy Walthers was involved in the investigation of the Kennedy assassination. Here he's in Dealey Plaza looking around for some evidence. We also have Buddy's death certificate. What's interesting to me, that what I noticed, he lives on the same street that Oswald did. He lives at 410 South Beckley. Oswald lived at 1026 North Beckley. Walthers died of a gunshot wound to the heart. He was shot while attempting to arrest a fugitive. This next picture I have is the only ones I can find of Cherry, of James Walter Cherry, and Twyna Blankenship. I wish I had better quality photos, but this is it. These are the bad people. Okay, now I'm at Laural Land Cemetery. This is just south of Dallas. You know, I forgot to, I was going to give a shout out to Gary Cherry. I forgot to do that earlier. I appreciate you watching my videos. Right out this direction, J.D. Tippett is buried right over here. And I believe Marie Tippett's now buried next to him. But we're at the grave location of Buddy Walthers, right here. Eddie Raymond Buddy Walthers. Again, that shootout was January 10th, 1969. Looks like his wife lived a long time. She died April the 4th, 2017, Dorothy. Buddy Walthers, if you follow the Kennedy assassination, when James Tagg when his cheek was cut by their first shot from the rifle in Dealey Plaza, it was Buddy Walthers that first noticed the blood on his cheek, and so he questioned James Tagg over this. And Buddy also found the mark in the curb where the first shot hit. Buddy looked a lot like Sheriff Decker. They wore the same type hat, same glasses, and they could have been twins if you look at the pictures. So a lot of the media, many reporters would mistake Buddy for Sheriff Decker and would start an interview with him back in the Kennedy assassination days. Prior to becoming a deputy sheriff, Buddy was a taxi driver, a cab driver, and right here in Dallas. But Decker believed in him and gave him a chance to get into law enforcement. There was some jealousy between Buddy and some of the other deputies because Decker really liked Buddy Walthers. He thought he had a lot of horse sense, and Decker promoted him a couple of times. And others that served in law enforcement always thought his Buddy as a dumb old cab driver. That's their thoughts, not mine, that I've read and heard over the years. So here we go, Buddy Walthers. I found a grave location. Also, I think in this same cemetery, out this way is Stevie Ray Vaughan, out this way somewhere.